Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to the Banished Vault, where today I've had a little bit of a look around the UI and I've realized some things. I was doing a lot of energy calculations in a sort of a clumsy way by selecting the ship and just like running the stuff through the ship computer over and over again and clearing the orders and then resetting the orders. It turns out they provided a tool for this. It's right here. It's underneath a button that says energy calculator. So there's really nothing they could have done to bring it to my attention more than they did. It was just me. That was all me. Anyway, so they included a slide rule in their video game, which I love very, very much. This is a gutsy play. So yeah, we're gonna actually make use of this time. But before we can make use of it, we need to decide what the hell we are doing. So we have a source of methane here. I would love to gather some knowledge. And in order to gather knowledge, we have to find artifacts. None of these planets are clearly marked as having artifacts. So I guess it's just a thing we have to discover. There are hazards to contend with. It seems like quite a lot of them, in fact. What is the 6 in this hazard? Let's have a quick look at the wonderful game manual. Hazards. Okay. Each hazard has a difficulty ranging from 2 to 6, 6 being the hardest. You know, like that one there with the 6 on it. So our close planets, and indeed the sole source of methane, is locked behind this difficulty 6 hazard. Let's pop to the reference section at the end here. Methane is used for elixir and engines. So if we want to make more elixir, we're going to need methane. We are pretty low on elixir already, and critically, we don't have enough elixir to build 3 more scriptoria. And we have to do that to win the game. So a stop off to grab some methane is actually a fully necessary part of our journey. How much elixir do we have left? It's like, we have like 2 or 4, right? Yeah, 4. So they start you with enough elixir to build 3 scriptoria. And also, not as long as you don't spend any on restoring the faith of your crew. And like Bryneth here, he's starting to wobble. Oh, friends, we have concerns. Okay. How are we going to manage? The question, how are we going to manage? So notice none of the planets, none of the astral bodies in this solar system require more than 2 thrusts to get, to do the final leg of the thing, to do liftoff or splash down. We hope for a minimum of splashing. So we might be able to use more efficient engines than I did last time. This is like, there's a lot of stuff that we only engaged with in sort of a cursory way. Like the aircator, in order to generate 2 thrusts, has to have the big expensive engine. But the smaller ships could do other stuff. And in fact, in theory, we have the capability of constructing this caracal engine, which has 160 efficiency to the 115 of the serval engine. These are all big cats. All of our engines are named after big cats, I think. Which makes sense because, as we all know, the canonical way to make a spaceship's engine run faster is to rub it with cheetah blood. So, this is what I like it when there's science in the science fiction, is what I'm saying. So how are we gonna we gotta go. The point is we have to go to this gas giant, right? We have to. We're gonna have to go to a gas giant eventually. Maybe we don't do it this system. Potential outcomes: lose 1 to 6 faith. Do they all say on them? No, there's just an indication that there will be a hazard here, but we don't get to know. Lose 1 to 6 faith is harsh. Nobody in our crew even has 6 faith. Is it cowardice? Is it cowardice to try to maybe just try to avoid this? Let's see if we can get methane somewhere else in a future system. I think I'm gonna try to avoid spending elixir here for anything other than a scriptorium. We are going to try to do the scriptorium. So, do we have any methane right now? We don't. So we can't build an engine. Even if we had an engineer, we couldn't build this engine. It would be really nice to get some methane. Maybe we should send Celesta ahead alone. It's pretty unlikely that Celesta would lose all of their faith. So we do like a scouting move with the Triad or Nexus 83. I have no idea what to prepare for out here. There are basically no thrust requirements. So let's say we take the City Triad, we put this engine in. Another thing you could absolutely do, and this is what they had us do during the tutorial, and I didn't even really consider it because I was like, yeah, you know, cargo space is too valuable. You could just bring both engines, right? There's a reason that you start with both engines in the ship and swap them. You use the efficient engine for travel and then swap to the other engine for landing. I would have to do some math on whether I think that that's a worthwhile expenditure of space, but it really feels like, at least for the smaller ships, the actual answer is get some methane, build some caracals, and just use those for everything. All right, I think this is the plan. I think we're gonna throw Celesta in this ship. Celesta is gonna go knock out this hazard. We're gonna see what's up. So we do not actually have all that much fuel when you just look at it. It's gonna be critically important for us to set up fuel gathering like immediately. This is, yeah, we're running way too close here. Well, we have the tools necessary, like we have all the titanium, right? To build a water harvester, it's just iron. To build a fuel producer, it's just iron and titanium. So anywhere that has iron and water, we have like a billion titanium. Hell, anywhere that has water, we can just bring some iron and some titanium. So we can set up a fuel depot somewhere and produce a shit ton of fuel. I think that's going to be probably something that we need to do pretty early on here. And it sure would seem like this is the place to do it. It's like right at the mouth of the solar system. But if we were to set it up down here instead, part of the benefit that we get out of that is that it's less of a hop for the ships trying to make the scriptorium move. I mean, honestly, what, 6, 7, 8? It's only 8 energy to get to this planet. You're crossing a couple of hazards, but... Alright, so let's make that the plan for the aircator. I'm gonna throw some people in the aircator. We're gonna give them some fuel. We're gonna use the energy calculator. So, a ship with 4 mass like this, and an engine efficiency of 115, which is to say garbage, needing to travel a distance of 6, 7, 8. So 8 energy is going to put us like only 4 fuel. That's really not that bad. Probably can't afford to take all of the fuel. Sorry, 4 fuel only gets us to 7.9. But yeah, we could truck down here with a couple of iron, some titanium, and just like produce a shit ton of fuel and then figure most things in the system out from there. It's really not that long of a jump down to the scriptorium from there, and it's not that hard to get back to the vault either. I like this as a way station. So let's do that. Let's send these 3 to here. And we'll put the rest of the fuel on the city. Something like that. Okay, so Aircator. Do we want to put all of the iron? I mean, there is iron there. We definitely want you to take some titanium. There's really no value in it being less than a stack, right? Well, I guess the value is if you send exactly the right amount, you don't have to take anything back home. So what? We have carbon, water, and iron here. If we wanted to, or sorry, CO2. CO2 is just iron. The CO2 extractor is just iron. The only thing we actually need titanium for is the fuel producer. Orbit harvesters for CO2 and methane also cost titanium. That's a thing worth thinking about, but we don't have any of those concerns with this ship. There is actually a really good feel thing in using the slide rule, honestly. I like this this addition a lot. It's not just a cosmetic thing. Like, it really does, it has a texture, a mechanical texture to it that I actually really dig. Okay, so we just need to bring some iron. And not even very much iron. Really, like, we need to bring 3 iron, and then we can set everything else up from there, provided that all those resources that we've surveyed are depth 1, which we don't actually know. What does the... Okay, it might take as much as 1 extra iron to build a resource excavator, which we can only build level 1 of right now. Okay, so... What, we throw 4 iron in this ship, and then 1 titanium? And we say, figure it out yourselves from there, you brave idiots. I'm trying not to look at how disorganized the vault is. We could do this in a more fuel-efficient way, but I don't think I care. Right, we're setting this up to extract fuel, and the fuel extraction process is like extremely, it's extremely action efficient. So yeah, I think we're good. I think we're just going. You forgive my cowardice and my back and forth. I am so nervous about making a mistake, and this game seems so unforgiving of mistakes. It is just the 1 titanium. There's nothing else we would want to produce down here. So we have CO2, but I don't think we have anything. Nothing that would take in CO2 is stuff that we'll want to build down here. Ooh, power generators can be unlocked. I like the degree to which this feels like an old school game manual too, in the way that you you can see the results of the future tech tree and stuff. Okay. Yeah, let's send them out. Start maneuver. The benefit of trying to do this in a slightly more fuel efficient way, I suppose, would be that we'll have enough fuel to make it back. You know what? Let me, just for my peace of mind, let's put 1 more fuel on the ship so that we can make it back. Just in case something goes horribly awry. Start maneuver. And Celesta, you are scouting in a way that I'm sure will be very fun for you. So a single point of fuel gets us 7 energy with this engine. That's really something. Should I plan to go deeper? Like, probably, right? We should plan to use all the thrust we're generating. So 1, 2. This will get us 6. And then we can plan forward from there. Gosh, this thing's efficient. Were I to build a methane, so we want to bring some titanium with us for the methane extractor, right? Yeah, an orbit harvester of methane would cost us a titanium. We have so much fuel for getting back. We definitely don't want to bring any additional fuel, but grab a titanium. Take a titanium for going out. Sorry, a titanium. And I think I don't even want to bring, like, let's just bring enough fuel, which means this ship should probably, well, I should have probably taken the fuel. Whatever, it's fine. I don't want to bring it on the other ship because I don't want to have the slot full. I want to bring back a huge amount of methane. So yeah, let's plan the route. Here we go. Fingers crossed. All right. 59% success chance. So I'm assuming we don't lose anything at all if we don't fail. Movement hazards are always visible on the map, while hazards at locations are unknown until the planet is visited. Hazards have multiple potential outcomes shown when hovering over the symbol on the map grid, or in the display for resolving hazards. If a hazard destroys resources while you are constructing a building, the building will still attempt to be constructed. If a hazard lowers a ship's condition to 0, the ship is immediately destroyed. When you resolve a hazard, the hazard display appears in the center of the screen, showing the values in the dice rolling display. Get a number of dice equal to the exile's faith, so it's good to throw a high faith exile at pretty much any hazard. The goal is for any of the dice rolled to have a value equal to or higher than the strength of the hazard. Okay. And these are standard D6s, so a 5... We're trying to roll a 6 on 5 dice. There's nothing else to it, I guess. Here's hope. Here is hope. We are living in Hope Town. Roll them bones. No. Lost 4 faith. Oh, and the hazard remains. The unstable gravity is a okay. And now we only have 1 faith for what is to come. Well, that's no good. That's no good at all. All right, ship mass 2, engine efficiency 175. So we are looking at generating 11 energy versus 14 energy. Like, what would be the difference? We can do 14 energy in 2 fuel. Well, sorry, this is going to be generating 11 energy is going to cost us 2 fuel. Generating 14 energy is going to cost us 3, right? That's 2 points something. So it does save us a point of fuel to short this. But, I mean, we may as well just go the whole way, right? Because we're gonna have to pay 2 and then 1 to do it anyway. And we might lose a ship here. I was really losing 4 faith there. Really, really, really hurt. Let's find out. So what's up? We don't know what's up. Okay. Well, our exile's out of actions for the turn, so that's... I guess we'll discover what the problem here is later. We might have to send another person to go and get Celesta. But, I mean, passing anyone through the unstable gravity is so bad. I don't know what we're going to do. We're committed in any case. Alright, so it's going to be one more turn before that ship gets where that ship's going. Let's step into here and attempt the construction of a methane harvester. So it could just be anywhere. We'll put it... Wait, needs structure. Oh. I did not understand how this works. Well, that's very bad. We have to build an orbit structure and then hang the thing off of it, which totally makes sense. Am I allowed to restart this solar system? I am. Okay, that's the kind of thing I think is worth taking a restart on. I apologize if it seems like I'm being a baby and re-rolling the hazard. That is not why we're doing it. It is going to be a result, but it's not why I'm doing it. Okay, so let's reset that condition real fast. This is still how we're doing this. It's not clear to me when we do a hazard. Are we only offering up one exile to it? The question I'm really curious about, I assume we're only going to roll the dice of a single exile. But it looks like maybe only one exile loses faith as well. So do we want to send a second person with him? Them, Celesta? I don't know. So here, one of each of these and the fuel necessary to do the thing. The thing is, there's not a lot of actions to... I guess the more people we have on the ship, the faster we can pull methane, right? So maybe it would make sense to send, now that we like know how hazards work, we have the vibe, maybe it makes sense to send 2 people on this mission and 2 people to go set up the other thing. Because like I was saying before, fuel generation is a pretty efficient, it's a pretty action efficient thing. We'll just take all of the fuel, we'll take a titanium, and we'll take 4 iron with us just in case. Yeah, alright, I'm comfortable with that. Let's do it. And this way we have somebody to fly on the way back, should we, Okay, want to make sure we got this right. So the orbit structure itself is a single iron, and then it's a single titanium to make this stuff. And we'd like to not have any resources left over, because I'd like to have 3 slots of methane and also the engine, or also the fuel for our engines heading back. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. I need to issue orders to that ship. So if we try to do it all at once, we can't afford to do it all at once. If we take the 1 to here like we were doing before, we end up paying 1 and then 3 and then 1 and then 3 to get back. That's fine. All right, let's do it. Okay, it doesn't actually ask us. For a navigation hazard like this, it probably just takes the pilot, but it also might just be grabbing whoever's highest faith. Okay, that time we only lost 1 faith. so cool. And then we want to make the rest of the trip all in one. And that even leaves us with a person to begin construction. Allows orbital buildings in adjacent grid squares. Oh, right. I panicked. It said insufficient stuff, and I was like, oh god, no, did I screw it up again? Alright, now we build the methane harvester. Oh, it bothers me just the littlest bit that it's off-center from the orbital structure, because it has this central bit. It's fine. Okay, so we're just going to generate 27 methane and then ship it home. And then they won't actually have the fuel to get back out to the other thing, will they? Somebody's going to have to come back and get them. Well, that can happen. That's not a big deal. But it would have been better to leave, if I had been thinking ahead more, it would have been better to leave more fuel in the... Yeah. Oh well. Okay, and turn. So the iron is at a lower depth. It is nice that we brought the extra thing. Buildings. Let's build... Oh, right. Sorry. Gotta make somebody the builder. So we can afford to do this. And then you make us an iron harvester. And we gotta remember, the location cache will sometimes have stuff too, which is nice. It helps. And we are gathering. We are just doing nothing but gathering. Yeah, I'm still pretty inefficient, you can tell. I'm not considering all of our problems ahead enough here. Alright, so we're gonna need a water harvester, which is going to require us to operate this first. And then we're gonna need a fuel producer, which we can put here. It's going to take us one more iron. Okay, there we go. Fuel depot set up. So the amount of actions that you have available in places is basically just like based on the atmosphere. And it was not clear to me whether that was a thing that we were able to tell before or not. Like if I could tell from a distance. Whether that was... Let's pop back up to the map. Is it obvious? Not really. It doesn't... Well, okay, this is 4 actions. You know, I had been interpreting that as like an extra action cost for the navigator to cross the branch. But it's not, is it? It's an indicator of... Yeah, okay. That makes sense. It's an indicator of what the atmosphere, the area... Yeah, so 5 actions down here. That's very nice. Alright, let's just do some basic gathering stuff. We are going to generate a bunch of water, and then you are going to be the laborer, and we're going to create a lot of fuel from the water. Rad. I do wish that this process was more sort of automatable. Okay, all we can actually carry is this much. Should we generate more? No, I was going to say, should we generate more and leave it so that somebody can come and pick it up later? But the fact is, if we want to do that, we can just have them come and do the work themselves, right? Okay, so We can generate 7 movement for a single fuel. So I think on the way back up, it makes the most sense to pay 2 fuel to get to here. And then 1 fuel to make it all the way to there. And that'll leave us with 2 fuel left, which actually might be enough to make it all the way to the depot. Yeah, let's run it that way this time. Oh. Almost left someone behind. That would have been bad. Okay, so 1 maneuver. Now we go here in 1. These high efficiency engines are very cool. I guess you both have the same faith. So it would be only 8 energy to make it to the fuel depot, where we could refuel. It's a little inefficient, but actually, given the way this thing carries, it's not that inefficient. If we wanted to just... It's very unfortunate, right? 7 thrust gets us to here. So we could pay 1, go back, drop off, get to here, run out of fuel, and then just have this ship come up and somebody drop off fuel, right? I think we can pass resources in that way. So yeah, maybe we want to just go drop off the methane, let that happen. Yeah. Also, you know, I'm realizing this world doesn't have a thrust requirement. I could have equipped the more efficient engine for this travel. It doesn't matter so much here because the energy costs are so low, and also we were building a fuel depot, but it is definitely like an error. I think I am just gonna go home then. We'll just go home, and then we'll get met up here because I do want to drop the methane off. All right, let's resolve the hazard. Come on, Celesta. Pair of 6s, in fact. All right, unstable gravity, no problem. Seen it before. Fuel, fuel, fuel. Fuel. That's right, we have so many actions. Okay, now we have all of the fuel. We are very set on that. Okay, so up here, let's drop off all this methane. Can I just smith up a caracal engine right now? I guess there's a good question about whether I need to. Yeah, are we planning to run the big ship over here? It's not that much fuel. I think the answer is no. I think in this case, we're planning to run the small ship down to here, get refueled by the big ship in the air, and then have the small ship do the scriptorium construction, right? Which would mean we'd have to be... It's 2 alloy to elixir, right? Yeah. And then nothing. Just fuel from there. We could bring an engine with us, since we have an extra slot. An engine to trade to this ship so that it can make its trip slightly more efficiently. But at this point, they'd have to carry the other engine back anyway, and I think we're probably better off just having the extra slot worth of fuel, given the low energy costs of the travel. Yeah, so we won't do that. What we will do is just turn around and make it to here in a single maneuver that's going to cost us 3 turns. is there anything else we want to do while we're here? Or do we basically just want to produce a ton of fuel and then bail out? We could stock up and head down to this planet. If we head down to this planet, then I did bring the right engine. Because this planet has CO2 and water and titanium. And we could probably we could produce more stasis there, right? Yeah, water to WTC is the so... And it's not very far from the fuel depot. We could set up more fuel production here even if we wanted to. We should probably produce more stasis. We don't have enough for the rest of the trip. We know that. At the very least, we're going to have to... Well, actually 16 might be enough, right? We might only have to see two more systems after this. But we don't have any room for error right now. It would probably be best to produce at least one more stack of stasis. And this ship doesn't really have anything else to do while we're waiting for the other ship to run the scriptorium thing. So, yeah, let's make that the plan. All right, so for right now... the fact that we can produce iron here is enabling this plan. So let's go ahead and do so. I will just produce a full stack of iron that we will carry with us to the next world along the thing. And then I probably want to wait until this ship arrives to make the transit. So we can grab whatever else we need while we're here, I suppose. We can make 2 more stacks of fuel. Yeah, all right. We have nothing else to do. And then I think we just get in the air and wait, maybe. So we're going to hand off 2 stacks of fuel to them, which will definitely be enough. They only have to make it back to a place where this ship can get to them. So we might want to plan this route a little bit. So yeah, 2 mass, 175 engine efficiency from the rendezvous point. We're going to make a transit of 13, which is only 2 fuel. And if we're doing that, we may as well tack this transit on there as well. So it costs us 2 fuel to make it to here from the rendezvous point. Then another 12. Oh, we're going to have more than enough. Yeah, we're not in any danger at all. Okay. So just go up there and wait, I think. Don't see any reason to do anything else. Gosh, I hope it turns out that we actually can flawlessly pass fuel like this. Okay, yes, we can. Good, good, good. So here is some of this for you. And then we head back down. So, it doesn't really, like, there's no reason, I suppose, to do this slowly. We have 1 million fuel. We're going to be able to stop at the depot again on the way out. And also we can probably just produce fuel down here. So just go ahead and make that move now and let's start getting set up. So the triangles, I think, have just been like potential for hazard, if it's not showing one, because we've gotten to the planets and not seen any actual problems. Oh, here you go. There are freezing temperatures that will potentially cost us actions if we're not careful how we build our buildings. Okay. That's a really cool... This game is so neat. This game has so many fun ideas. Alright, so first things first. Transfer the iron to the surface. Next, you are going to have to build... Let's try to lay it out, shall we? We haven't really been doing this. But like the iron producer, we're going to want to lay here. We're also going to need a resource excavator. So we want to just put... darn it. Cancel. A resource excavator that I want to just put in the corner. Okay, I can pan with the mouse buttons. So we can put that over there and that would be functional. The titanium extractor, which is absolutely critical, has to go here. It says titanium no, but titanium yes, it will be. Oh, it won't let me even plan it until we've completed this. Well, go ahead and do that then. Okay. And then unfortunately, the water harvester is just going to have to go over top of a hazard, which may cost us some actions. The question is, so here's the thing I don't know. Is it just you get the hazard roll if you encounter any hazard symbols, or is it you get the hazard roll for each hazard symbol? Because that really determines whether we want to place it like this. I'm going to try it like that, and we're going to see. And we're going to resolve that. Can I resolve that now? No, it'll resolve when we have actions. Yeah, that makes sense. When we actually try to build it. And then we're also going to need... Oh shoot, do we need alloy? We do need alloy. Well, we can make that work. So this thing has this like Tetris piece shape. I mean, listen, if we lose actions, we lose actions. It's not the end of the world. This plugs in here pretty alright. And then once we have that going, we can form the stasis producer, which is gonna be impossible to put down in a position that doesn't have any hazards. Well, we have time. I think that's true. Wait, wasn't there... Oh, there's CO2 just in the atmosphere. Well, whatever. Let's get set up on the planet, and then we can worry about that. Because there is a CO2 marker on the planet itself, and I don't see that resource anywhere. Maybe it's at a depth we can't interact with or something. But whatever, we can jet up to the atmosphere, build a thing up here. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So we have expended both of you. Over here, we're gonna make this move. Sorry, that's right. We get 16 thrusts out of this much fuel, so we can make this move. And then 12 in another. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's see what happens. We don't have quite as much time as I might like, but it's still going to be plenty of time for what we need to do, I think. So, 12 fuel. Oh, 2 thrust. Shoot. Yeah, 2 thrust. Not 1 thrust. I was like, everywhere's 1 thrust down here, but that's not true. These planets are... Well, crap. Oh, that's really frustrating. That's a really stupid mistake to have made. Okay. It's fine. It's fixable. We have time. I feel silly is all. So... The trip back to here is 15 energy. The trip all the way back home is 20. 20 is 5 fuel. To change out the engine to a less efficient engine, right? But there's no reason not to short it. Right, like if it's going to cost us 1 turn every time we move anyway, we are effectively doing the single leaps, so why not actually do the single leaps? We can save a little bit of fuel as we go back. Okay, feeling silly. Let's get building. Let's find out how these work. So with only 2 faith, we did hit it. Hazard navigated. Okay, so it's just, you just make 1 hazard roll if there are any hazard symbols. That's handy. Let's get the important buildings constructed. Stack these up a little bit better. We'll do this with your last action. No, we won't. Sorry, we have to produce alloys before we can do that. Gather me a titanium. Okay. Now we can make this. And then we can gather some more titanium. This is just 1 alloy? Okay. Oh, right, we need silica. Okay, these are all resolvable problems. Where is there silica? I mean, there's some on the ship, for sure. There's actually no silica out here. So the other ship is going to have to bring them some silica. Well, one of the other ships. We could split them up. Yeah, this is not really a 2-pilot job, is it? Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so we can't actually make the alloy yet, but we can do some other important stuff. I'm going to build a fuel producer here because it's essentially free to do so. And it's just a convenience thing, right? And then we can't actually build this. But we can make fuel. All right. So we can stockpile resources while we're waiting for the silica. Totally forgot if you're gonna make alloy. I mean, at this point, we probably don't bother with the silica, right? What we probably do is just bring some alloy back. Okay, and then... Oh, sorry. I'm trying to select this ship, not to issue an order. Alright. Yeah, like this is not, in terms of time, is not actually different from just sending through here, right? Because of the way the turn is spent. And at this point, we may as well go the rest of the way in one go because it is only 1 fuel. Well, actually, should I just stop off and drop them the alloy now? If I have to go back to the ship anyway, I can pick up more alloy at the ship. And we can make this time more efficient for them. Yeah, I should have thought of that. All right, we're just going to go back and pick up the... here, we can go this deep in a single maneuver. Yeah, we'll just drop that off. And y'all can produce resources. So we need to get the carbon, or we need to get the CO2 situation figured out. And we need to have a stock of water and titanium. At least this much. And then I'm going to need to take some iron and titanium up to orbit. But the efficient thing to do would be to do that once I only have one action left. Or no, I guess it makes sense to just do it now. So iron and titanium, it's just one each. I need one titanium for the CO2 thing. Okay, yeah, one each. So you just need to make it back up here. It's so much easier to fly around where there's no gravity, you know? Alright, so build that, then build CO2 harvester. And then spend some time operating the CO2 harvester. Okay. It's a little involved, it's a little finicky, but we're getting it done. So just go ahead and do that. Down here, you will produce more titanium, I suppose. And then the traveling ship. How much fuel did I bring up to orbit with me? Enough is the answer. This feels like a total waste to only go one energy, one distance. But I'm gonna transfer you to the aircator because this is a one-person job, really. And I'm going to also transfer a single alloy to the aircator. Right, we will just need one alloy to build the stasis producer. We don't need any to operate it. And then we will take a stack of fuel. Yep, I'll go back and get another alloy, and then we'll figure it out. Again, a lot of inefficiencies could be avoided here by me just doing a better job. Actually, hold on. Because this way the ship can start returning this turn. So what I want to do here is... That's 3 energy, that's 8 energy. That's a little annoying. That it costs us 2 fuel to make the first move, but I do want to do it in one turn. That's fine. We'll just overthrust a tiny bit. Okay. So... everybody's good for this turn. Alright, you just make it back home. That's going to take a couple of turns to process. And here we want to produce another stack of this stuff, and Celesta will take it all down to the surface. Okay, so we can build this alloy titanium. Oh, I have to extract another iron from the surface of the world. And then I'm not sure. I'm actually kind of curious how this will punish us if we only have like 1 or 2 actions left. So I'm going to also grab some more titanium. Okay. I'm curious if the penalty would extend over into the next turn, or if you can't lose more actions than you currently have. Although maybe it will never matter, because maybe Samnia is unshakable. Okay, and there we go. We have a fuel and stasis depot fully functional now, which is fantastic. Okay, so we have at the very least enough to last one more sleep. I mean, there's no reason to stop here, right? I didn't really, like... I'm bummed out that I forgot about the silica. So we can't build any more alloy, but we also have a lot of alloy in total. Like, we're probably not in any danger on that front. So yeah, I guess let's produce... we're gonna need water. Prineth up in the atmosphere. Can I suppose just fire this thing? Because what else is there to do? And then we're gonna have stuff to do with you. We can build new ships too. So like, what do we do? What do these ships do? 8 cargo, 2 travelers, mass 4, thrust -2. So the big ship that we have right now is mass. Is it this kind of ship? Mass 4, thrust -2. Yeah. Yes, this is an Avocet class. 4 cargo, 1 traveler, mass 2, thrust -1. 2 cargo, no thrust modification at all. And a Sparrow, which is basically just like a drone for bringing a single object around. Okay, I definitely don't want to do any of that. But I do want to fabricate one of these. Okay. Then back to the ship. I think that's probably all the CO2 we're going to need. So why don't we have the Aircator fly back up here. You know, I guess let's make it 2 stacks. And then we'll head back to the planet's surface. Okay, lots and lots of resources now. You are going to need to produce some more water. And also we're going to need some more titanium. And yeah, my plan is 2 stacks of stasis. But I guess the actual plan is as much as we can build while we're waiting for this other stuff to work out. As much as we can build while making sure that we are definitely going to make it home. So in this case, this is the appropriate engine, right? We need to have 2 thrusts to get down, but this one still has a much higher efficiency than the big expensive engine. $160 versus $115, which in terms of our slide rule, 3 fuel generates 14 energy, 3 fuel generates 10 energy. Yeah, and then you get that really, really ugly scaling. Okay, this will be fine. So what we need to do now is just travel. Oh, sorry. Let me not forget to bring the other alloy. Really important. So 1 fuel takes us 6 distance. Trying to get to here would be a 2 fuel move. We can move here for 1. And obviously some time. We may as well take these short hops. Alright, we're going to need more titanium. And that is enough to produce an entire additional stack of stasis. Okay. I guess we produce a third stack. There's no reason not to. We have the resources. We have the time. Time is our major bottleneck at this point. Because we could do the rest of this stuff forever. It's weird to talk about time in the sense of not being able to spend time forever. Because that's, yeah. You know what I mean, though. Alright. 2 more water. And then whole big stacks of stasis. All right, we're also going to need to produce more fuel, and obviously we're hoping to come back with a lot of fuel. So at this point, probably the move is like 3 stacks of stasis is going to be enough. Let's also bring back 5 big stacks of fuel. We should not be in as tight a fuel position as we were at the beginning of this sector. And you know, I think I said I wasn't necessarily going to do a system every episode, but like it feels like we're on the edge of leaving here, right? Let's just go ahead and wrap it. So you do that. Okay, now let's figure this part out. How much fuel do we need for this maneuver? With a 2-mast ship and 160 engine efficiency, we need to travel 15 distance first. So we're spending 4 fuel. 4 fuel gives us 17 energy. So we'll actually make it to here in that first burst. That'll be 4 fuel. So we'll only have 1 stack left. Then it's going to be 12 energy will cost us another 3. So we'll have 6 left. If we're spending 3 on the way back up, we get a 14. So that'll get us to here. We'll have 3 left. And then we will need to make another 13. So we have enough fuel to make it from here to the planet and back. If I have done my math correctly. But we could spend just an extra moment to do this with 2 full stacks of fuel, and I feel like that's the responsible thing to do, isn't it? We'll just drop down to the depot, produce fuel for a second. Yeah. Make absolutely sure. Alright, and you lot are just producing fuel. So let's make water. I don't know, is it 4 stacks of fuel and 4 stacks of stasis? Or 3 stacks of stasis and 5 stacks of fuel? I don't actually know what makes the most sense. But in any case, we're gonna want at least 4 stacks of fuel, right? So let's just do that part. Okay, and then operate. Okay. So now the question, which thing do we want more? We have the carbon for another stack of stasis. I don't know that we have the room on the vault for all of this stuff. We may end up throwing away some extra engines. We don't need all the engines we have. I think this is probably enough stasis, right? Because there's a possibility that we could finish the game with what we have if we can actually do the scriptorium runs. I think this is enough. Let's just do fuel. Let's just make it fuel. So we're going to need 1 more pull on the water tank, and then fuel. Fuel. Okay. Get in the boat. Let's get out of here. And by out of here, I mean we want to be waiting at this point with fuel. So this is 12 thrust. All right, right, we have to make this move. Let's do that. We have a lot of piloting actions left over. We'll just slow walk it. We have a lot of actions. We can be very efficient here. So this is only one thrust from there. Actually, this is what we're going to do. Okay. So, back to the surface. First things first. There we go. And you can just be on your way. We don't actually have to wait for you at all. So let's have the triad make this move now. The Aircator takes a second to completely refill with fuel. There we go. I feel better. It takes a second to completely refill with fuel. Easily enough. The water one. Here we go. And we need somebody else to jump in. There we go. Okay. Return to map. Get up to here and wait. I think what we're going to do is... I'm going to have more stuff than we can carry. We're going to end up throwing some stuff away, but whatever. What we're going to do is we're going to wait for the other ship to come back, and we're going to fill it up, then go back to the depot, fill up, and then run. And we have plenty of time for all that. Yep, 3 energy gets us down there. We'll see about hazards. What's it look like? You know, it's ugly. The scriptorium is huge, so we are eating a difficulty 2 hazard. But that's fine, probably. Lose all faith in this treacherous landscape. Well, there's no place that we can put the scriptorium where we avoid that, so we just have 4 dice and we have to not roll all ones. That's the way of things. Please don't roll all ones. Please, 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 please. Okay, through 2 just to let us know. And so we have added to the Chronicle of the Auriga Vault. The planet stilled when the storm erupted from the pyramid. The sun drew close overhead, its blinding light overpowering the stars. The settlers could not see one another for the light, and only the pyramid itself remained visible. Whew. Hallowed indeed. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. That's how hallowed this place is to me. So, 27 thrust, or 27 energy. What would it take to generate 27 energy on this engine? A mere 9 fuel. I am willing to make that move. Almost forgot my pilot. Although I guess actually there's no reason to do it that way because we have 4 actions and this is effectively going to eat all our actions anyway. So why don't we do it the softer way? We'll spend the 2 fuel here. And then from here we'll jump to there, which will only be 1 fuel. And then from here we'll jump to there for only 3. Okay. All right. There we go. You are as fueled up as you can be. Well, hold on. It's being a little bit weird about the transfers. But okay. Now you have maximum fuel. Turn around and head home. And the aircator is going to really quickly just refill with fuel one more time because we have the turns to make this effective. The thing about fuel production is it's incredibly efficient. Time-wise. Okay, so click, 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 click. No, wait, the 5 and the 8 need to be joined. Okay, so we need just a little bit more. And Peregrine needs to make it back to the boat, which we can do in a single fuel. Yeah, I'm happy to have the extra engines, the Caracal engines. I think that's going to be very helpful for us. All right, let us finish the production of the fuel. So I need 6 more fuel. There we go. And let's get the heck out of here. So do this in one action and one fuel, and then well, I guess if we're doing 2 fuel, we can just go home. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about that. You've run out of turns. Every turn after this one, the solar system will slowly be consumed. Return all your ship and exiles to the vault and begin hibernation. We're right on it. We're watching the timer. We got it. When it started, we lost half our population overnight. Since then, our losses have conformed to a Neperian progression over the course of several lived years. We have transmitted our initial findings, but any further study would be suicide. Lived years as a distinction here because, of course, we're spending so much time in hibernation. Who knows how many, outside years have passed, linear years. All right, let's talk about room on the station. So first of all, here's all this stuff. That stuff doesn't take up any room on the station, which is nice. Put everybody into the vault. And then, like I said, we're going to have to do some stuff here as regards the amount of garbage we are carrying. This is too much titanium. I don't know if the stuff that's in the ships sticks around. We probably don't need to be carrying more than a single stack of titanium in the vault. Right? That's enough to, figure out whatever it is we're going to do. Does the methane only stack to 6? No. Why was the methane like that? Well, I guess I'd rather keep this in the vault than... Do not like how disorganized this is, but it's hard to keep it any other way. Okay, I guess we'll find out if the stuff in the cargo bays stays in the cargo bays. If we ended up losing this, I'm comfortable with that. It's fine. Let's begin our hibernation. We have enough stasis. Everybody's present. We are going to have some faith issues. The next system is going to be about elixir production, for sure. Click, 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 click. Everybody gets to rest. And we still have no knowledge. I still need to figure out that whole situation. 205 efficiency. Abilities. Yeah, stuff. Look at all this stuff and how good it would be to have it. For the moment, all we can do is arrive at the store Vanuavot. And that, of course, is where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. That one got a little bit longer, but, we were so close to the end. It didn't make any sense not to go. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we shall be... You know what? Actually, before I hit the button here, we should take a look at the system, right? So we know what to anticipate. Meteors, I guess? Just some rocks in space. We got some planets here. There's some methane available. That's nice. Interesting. The closest planet is not the hallowed one. Yeah, okay. Easier access to methane here. We don't need to do nearly as many dangerous things as we did last time, so I could have just waited. This seems like a good place to scour for artifacts. There's going to be a lot more scouting. When you come back next time, we're doing our first proper survey run of a system instead of just moving at full speed to escape the gloom. We have a second to breathe, we've acquired resources, let's put them to use and maybe do something better than just barely scrape by all the time. And we'll see you then.